Popcorn Ready. Right. It's your boy T. Breezy and the Heezy for Sheezy. Got Cameron Jordeezy.
Yeah.
Welcome to Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch, with my boy.
T.O., what's happening?
We got another virtual Zoom show coming to you on Getcha Popcorn Ready today. We got our man, Cameron Jordan, coming in this building today, boy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've heard Cameron Jordan's name, quite a bit. I know he's a very charismatic, fashionable guy. I know he's a funny guy. He's one of those guys that's just, I know him to just keep the energy, to keep the locker room loose. He's one of those guys, but when he's on that field, he balls out.
Yeah, he a dog. And, I got to know his dad, Steve Jordan, who was a Minnesota Vikings tight end. So I got to know him through that. But that's when he was living back in Minnesota. Then he moved to Chandler, Arizona, where he finished his high school career. But again, he was a first rounder coming out from Cal, and he's going on his 10th season, and he's been doing his thing. Of course, a lot of people hear and listen about the other defensive ends, the Von Millers and Khalil Macks of the world. But yeah, he's definitely putting up sacks, putting up numbers, and putting up them contract numbers too, because the man just got paid last year. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Cameron Jordan coming to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. And don't forget to subscribe on the Himalaya app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And this is Terrell Lawrence, and you can also subscribe on my YouTube channel as well. So not only just subscribe on the Himalaya app or wherever you get your podcast apps, but don't forget to subscribe on YouTube.
Well, shoot, welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch, and my boy,
T. Reezy
is in the building. Special guest today, Cameron Jordan, New Orleans Saints defensive end, 5-time Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro, 2-time second team All-Pro. You going on another one this year? Go get another Pro Bowl this year? What we doing in 2020, brother?
I appreciate all personal accolades. I appreciate putting together this career through, this last 9 years. Mm-hmm. I need a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'm here to climb the mountain, be at the top of the mountain. I've been climbing for 9 years now. I done got close. I done felt some of the air.
First of all, talking about climbing the mountain, you guys were really, y'all was at the top of the mountain, but I'll say it for you. The refs knocked y'all right off the top of the mountain. So we'll put this thing in reverse 2 years. So get your popcorn ready. I know I came out. I was very vocal about the situation with the non-call of the defensive back hitting the receiver, obviously well before the ball got to him. And then you guys, obviously, like I said, honestly, y'all had already punched y'all ticket to the Super Bowl. Y'all had punched the ticket and they unpunched it when you talk about the non-call with the refs. And then you fast forward to this year. Do you feel that it was a letdown for you guys this year, considering obviously playing this, that would have been motivation to get back to the Super Bowl, but obviously you guys came up short this year. Do you feel like it was a big letdown personally, and then as a team, and then really as a city? Because I just felt like you guys were going to get back there this year based on what happened the year prior.
Absolutely. You talk about what happened, 3 years ago, starting with the Minnesota Miracle. We were just like young, like a young team. We were one of the younger teams. Like, look, we done drafted two starting DBs and a defensive end and a linebacker. Like we brought in AJ Klein. It was like, yo, we've got this young defense that we haven't really figured out. We go in and we're like, oh shit, snaps. We went from 7-9 to a playoff caliber team, and we out here fighting. To the next year, leading in, we go all the way to the NFC Championship Game, and it's like it was our game to lose. And of course, we ended up tricking that off late in there. You can't ever, at some point we were up there by 2 touchdowns. Yeah. When you whooping a team, you got to continue, putting your foot on their throat and finish them off. When you don't, you allow elements to happen. And so it's like, and it stewed the entire offseason. Was like, yo, this year gonna be different, and it felt different in the locker room. I mean, we was going through, we went through the ringer. Like, we started off with Dallas and Houston. You know, we went through everybody and was out there. We whooped the entire AFC South. You know, we smacked you know whoever it was that was in our way. We went to the Niners game and ended up, you know, everybody was banged up from that game. I don't even know if the Niners won their next game because we was in a battle. That was a battle.
Dog fight. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That was one of those like, damn, like our offensive line went down. One of our offensive line went down. One of their offensive line goes down. One of their defensive line goes down. One of our defensive line goes down. It was like everybody was out there taking licks. And at the end of the game, one of those games, you're like, yo, we're battle tested. Like we knew we could capitalize and we ended up not. But it's like we're still trending upwards. Like everybody's on firing on all cylinders. Like it's going to take a shootout for us to even be, you know, to even show any flaws. So, you know, we go into the playoffs and it's like, all right, well, we're 12-4. How do we not get a 1 or 2 seed?
Yeah.
That's just the way that things shape. We're going to have to, you know, go ahead and we beat whoever is in front of us. Minnesota comes in there, you know, and we're up again. We're up. And we shouldn't, again, when you're ever up, we know we can't let anybody close. So that happened. It's like all you can do is kick yourself in the ass. Like you knew not to let anything get close.
Yeah.
We go to, you know, overtime and it's like, all right, you can put whoever, you can dink, dunk, do all that other stuff. Like you're not crossing this goal line. We're going to give the ball back to Drew and, you know, do whatever. It was like, you know, you can argue that there was push off, all this other shit. We didn't capitalize on our opportunities. You know, Marshawn Lattimore goes down late in the game. It's like, you know, you go man in, man out. You sort of missing your top dog corner. So, you know, you can't make excuses. This is something you have to deal with. Yeah. Now it's directly into the offseason. You're sitting there just as a team, like don't deflate. And you send that text message out, like, T.O., you know what it is. Like, you send out the group message, like, hey, bro, keep your head up. This is something we got. I'm getting back text message like, bro, I'm already in the gym. I'm like, we on the same page.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, he's like, bro, I just did finish my workout yesterday. Like, bro, it's Tuesday. Like, we just played Sunday. Like, you already working out. Like, you know, I talked to my guy, Craig Robertson. He was like, man, I just want to get home so I can start training, like, now. Like, guys are on the same page. I'm talking to, you know, the young kids be like, man, like, I don't know how we lose that game. You know, you talk to a rookie, like, bro, beyond that game, think about how much you grew this one season.
Yep.
I mean, with that same mentality, like, ain't no more sophomore slumps. Ain't no more, like, we don't have time or room for you to, like, you know, woe is me. Like, you don't have no idea what it's like to have been a part of this Saints team for as long as I've been a part of it. I've been here for 9 years. I've been a part of the historically worst defense in the NFL. Like, you don't know what it's like when your corners can't cover slants, posts, drag, lines. Like, you don't know the shit I've been through. So, you know, we've grown so much. Keep that same mentality. Keep that chip on your shoulder. Like, my chip's going to be here till we win a Super Bowl beyond that.
Right. So how does one, speaking of yourself and the team, but I know that's impulse, like right after the season, your juices, the energy is still there. And then, like I said, how do you and yourself, I consider you're a leader on the team. How do you guys keep that energy? Because that's impulse to have that right immediately after a loss like that. Knowing, to be honest, you would think that third time's the charm, because I forgot about the Music City Miracle thing. I forgot about that.
Minnesota Miracle,
yeah, that's what I meant. Whatever it was. I forgot about the Minnesota. What did I say?
Music City. That's the Tennessee Titans one.
Right, exactly.
A national situation.
Right, exactly. So I forgot about the Minnesota thing. Obviously, Stephon did catch that walk-off thing, and then obviously you guys come back, and then you guys get eliminated by the refs of non-call. And then last year, you know, I watched that game, and I was, like I said, I was rooting for you guys because I openly came out and defended you guys with the whole blown call with the refs. But then I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I want to see if they're going to get back, because I wanted to see you guys kind of get redemption, because I felt like that Super Bowl was taken away from you guys. But then I saw that call, and then I'm like, and I saw some games prior to that, some playoff games prior to that. So again, should that, you can't blame the game on one play, but in essentially that call right there cost you guys the game, because he literally, like he legitimately pushed off. That was a PI, and I'm an offensive guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm an offensive guy.
It was big. It was full extension. Like, we talk about.
Yeah. Right.
My boss told me, like, he's like, shit, they wouldn't even let that go back in the 90s. How did they let that go now?
Exactly. And that's why I don't like, you know, when you have referees, they should exercise the integrity of the game, regardless if it's the last second of the game, it's the last play of the game. You should be able to call what you see. And like I said, instill and install that integrity regardless. I don't care what backlash you may get. That's a call that needs to be made. So you can't just ideally like put it in the player's hand to make a play when offensive player is gaining advantage to catch a touchdown to again send you guys home. So that's the third time. So you would think that third time's the charm, but obviously it wasn't the case. So back to my original question is that impulse. Well, obviously, like you said, you calling guys, the guys texting each other 2 days after the game. They're talking about they're in the gym. But again, that's impulse. How do you guys keep that energy now, especially with the COVID-19 situation happen? You guys have Zoom meetings, this and that and the other. You guys are uncertain about the season, how it's going to play off. And now you got to figure out, okay, when is the season going to start? How you guys are going to kind of collectively get back. And then if the season is going to be played with or without fans. So how do you now, we're talking about now, keep that energy to get you guys back? Obviously, you got to win the regular season, get yourselves in position to make the playoffs, win those playoffs games, and ultimately get to the Super Bowl.
Perfect. So before I go, broad, what is my teammates doing? Focus on what I'm doing. So right after Super Bowl, I had a minor core surgery injury. So I got a quick little fix. I shouldn't say quick little fix. It took like 8 weeks to rehab that thing, right? Like an 8 to 11 week rehab, and yet I'm still rehabbing. But I'm allowed in the facility. I have access to my trainers. I've got access to, weight room. I've got access to the field. So I'm getting all the work that I normally would get in the OTAs. I started that in February, March.
Gotcha.
So what's been a blessing for me is I have the ability to still get in the building every day. And with that, I've got, two of my defensive ends that, my young bull, Marcus Davenport, and then my other kid, Trey Hendrickson, who had shoulder surgeries. So they're sort of in there too. So now as we're getting healthier, now we're on the field, we're doing work and we're pushing each other. So now it's like real personal competitions here. So if anything, I'm gonna be at the top of my game ready. I'm damn near season ready, and this is 3 months out, 2 months out.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably more ready this year than I have been any other year. Because normally, if we didn't have this pandemic, we didn't have this COVID, everybody knows like athletes travel in the off season. Like that's the main time where, I'm across to Greece, where I'm headed towards, Beijing, where I'm going, probably not ever going back to China now, but
not now.
Yeah. Ireland, France, Italy's probably nixed off the map for a couple of years too, but normally guys travel in the off season. Normally guys eat really well in the off season. Like, that's where you're going to catch your flex picks. Everybody like me, wifey, at a steakhouse, and it's steaks and lobsters and it's wine. It's like all this, extravagant meals. And we've been in the house. So it's been me on the kitchen top. Like I'm out here, I'm out here making food. So you see me, I'm eating nothing but what I know. So I'm eating chicken, fish, the greens. Everybody like
staying healthy.
Kids catching the real meals. Like ain't no butter, nothing. Ain't no sauce. It's olive oil base. It's it's the air pressure. It's whatever it is, but it's way healthier. Like you ain't Uber eating when you're getting hungry.
Right.
You like grill.
So you have no excuse. But like I said, obviously you got a head start with their rehab and obviously, preparing for the season, obviously with the injury. So you're saying, and this is something came to mind when you just mentioned all this with the non-traveling, everybody pretty much quarantining, staying at home, hopefully staying in shape. So what I'm thinking league-wide, this should probably be the most competitive year possible because you got a lot of guys not doing the extracurricular activities, taxing their bodies. Everybody should be.
I don't think everybody ain't gonna be as focused as Cam though. I just can't. The people I know, they're not working out. They're not, like you said, eating right at home during this time. I don't see a lot of people doing that. And again, Cam going into
part of that.
No, I stayed ready. Don't get it twisted. I stayed ready. You the one that took all them months off after the season. I got right back into the gym.
Absolutely.
I know.
Being the Hall of Famer that I am, I had somebody to lay out the blueprint for my success.
Jerry didn't take 2 months off. We're two different people. Jerry and T.O. is T.O. But the thing is, I knew that I can't burn candles on both ends, bro. You got to allow your body to rest. Much as you tax it. Cam, you didn't let your body. But Cam got back in the gym 3 days after the season. That's what we're saying.
Right. That's because he had back healthy.
That's
I
major key.
Major key. Yeah, major.
Right. Do you not take some time off to rest your body
every year beforehand? It's definitely like you take a month, or I mean, to some point too, to like you got to rest your mind to get your body right. Like you need you have to step away from football because after 16 weeks, 17 weeks, you be out there broken. You be sitting in bed like, and my back hurt. I don't even remember my back hurt. Why does my neck hurt?
One shot, my foot, my ankle, my knee, my hip, everything.
My back, my neck, and my back.
Yeah, my neck and my back.
Cam, that's why we are as great as we are. You know what I mean? That's why we're great. You know what I mean? That's why
Cam, don't let him say we fool. Don't listen to him, Cam. Don't even listen to that, dog.
Hey, how many Pro Bowls you made? You got under your belt, Cam?
5. I got 5.
Okay, ask him how many he has.
Hash with you.
Exactly. So exactly. So
hey, so this ain't about me, Cam. I know. I get it. We just about me, dog.
Hey, so I'm intrigued, and obviously we're gaining listeners and followers, every week, and so we've been doing this for about 18 weeks or so now. So we have people that sometimes we bring guests on. Obviously, football fans, they know who you are, but let's tell people. Who is Cam Jordan? What made Cam Jordan who he is today for some of the listeners out there that don't know who you are?
Yeah, so growing up, of course, my pops played in the league for 13 years. Minnesota tight end, Steve Jordan, 6-time Pro Bowler. I mean, that's a chip right there. You growing up and you just want to play football. Everybody's looking at you like, damn, that's Steve Jordan's kid. It's like,
right.
Like my first name is Cam, bro. Like,
that's Steve.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You little Steve. It's like, I'm not even a junior. My older brother.
Well, your dad could be Michael Jordan. You really have some shoes to fill. But just the fact that you got that last name.
A Jordan is already,
right. Do you feel some type of way?
That's a whole nother theory. If my dad was Michael Jordan, like, or Magic Johnson, or all them old players, like you don't really see too many like Hall of Fame
kids. Being successful.
Right. Like, you don't see, you see.
Why do you think that is? Sure. Why do you have a theory behind that? Because I got a theory behind that. I want to hear your theory behind.
I've got 2 separate theories on this. One, they didn't have access to the training, the everything that we had now. And 2, the money was different. Like, I get Michael Jordan's making $28 million, but guys like Scotty was making 1.7.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You put him in top 10 of all time type player. Mac Johnson, I don't know what he made in his career, but it wasn't what James Harden's making now. It wasn't what Mike Conley's making. It's not in terms of football for sure. Like I remember my dad as a 6-time Pro Bowler, his first year's payout. I remember he showed me his stub. Like, hey, this is what I made my rookie year. It was like $32,000, $37,000.
Wow.
$37,000. He was trying to buy a Porsche. And Porsche was
$20,000. You can't get that, Pop.
Like your whole first year's check. Well, after taxes, yours came out to like $28,000, and you trying to buy a Porsche at 22.
So he's living well beyond his means.
That's what I'm saying. So like his pops had to call him like,
can't do that.
Yeah, like that was his first story. Like that's not you. You can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, I'm gonna tell you a story. I was kind of like I was the same way. But you know what that did for me? Because when I got in the league, like my first, second year in the league, I saw guys like Lee Woodall, Jerry, Bryant Young, all these guys. They had the S500s, they had the S600. Back then, bro, them things were nice. It's equivalent to what people rolling Maybachs and the Rolls Royces and the SUVs. So I honestly I was like that too. I kind of lived beyond my means a bit too. Once I took care of my mom and bought her a house, I had like an Explorer come out, straight out of college. So that was sort of like a treat to myself. But then I get my first year, I'm driving to the facility every day. I'm passing by all these Mercedes, these Benzes. I'm like, man. So I end up buying me one too. Like it was a stretch. So I'm just like, that motivated me but I knew that I shouldn't have been buying it, but I bought it anyway because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to look good, even though my skill set, my talents hadn't really warranted.
Your talent was a Toyota. Your talent was a Toyota.
Right. So yeah, honestly, that motivated me to do well on the football field because, like you said, I was a Toyota driving a Benz. So I can definitely relate because you want to feel like you fit in. You know what I mean? Even though, like I said, your bank account, that bank stub, it doesn't reflect that. But like I said, that's one of the responsibilities, that you have going in as a rookie, a second year guy, is really kind of managing your finances. And that's how a lot of guys kind of get in trouble.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, my dad told me that story, and I was like, "Yeah, I hear you." So I get to the league, and I'm like, "All right, cool." Like the most sound advice he'd ever told me was like, "Hey, one car, one house, one girl." And I was like, "One girl?" He's like, "Think about it. One car, one house, one girl."
Yeah.
Now, a house, you're gonna pour money into a house. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that back if you buy a reasonable house. Now, if you go spend $multi-million on a house, that shrinks the market. And I'm over here at 21, like. What are you talking about?
Don't even get it right.
I just didn't even get it. He's like, one car. I was like, one car? My first year, me and Mark Ingram he goes and test drives this R8. I was like, bet, I'm going to go get, like, you got the black one, I'm going to go get the white one. I sat in the car. I was like, my daddy said, one car, one car.
Your daddy said, don't do it.
Hey, right. I'd already bought this 2011 Tahoe straight out. Like, I come out of there, whatever. It's a lockout year. I'm like, yo, all right. So I got like $50K in the bank, and I'm like, I'm big baller status in my mind. You go from $1,200 stipends to start $1,100 stipend checks in college, and that's going all towards renting up in Northern California. Like a three bedroom apartment going for $2,800, and you spend a few days, you'll check $1,100. I'm barely flexing out for cable and
utilities.
That's what I'm saying.
Cell phone bill. That's it.
I gotta call my pops and, hey, can I get a couple dollars? And after sophomore year, he was like, no.
All right. You go learn. You go learn today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I get to the league. I bought a Tahoe. And at the end of my first year, I'm like, all right, I started 15 out of 16 games. I'm poised for, this next year. Like, I'm going to be that dude soon. And, like, they're going to put me on third down. I'm really going to show them who I am. But it was like, I'm sitting in this car, and I'm sitting like, I didn't already test drove Mark's car. I didn't went 40 on the back streets. I was like, this me in this car? And then two things stopped me. It was like sitting there. I was like, how much? He was like $1, whatever it was, like $1.20. And I was like, I ain't never spent $100,000 on nothing.
Nothing.
And then it was like, my daddy said one car, one house, one girl. I ain't got a girl yet.
I was like, so I can get two cars instead of getting.
That's what I was like, I ain't got a girl or a house yet. I was like, but if I buy this car, is that going to affect me getting a house?
Right.
You know what? I'm gonna hold on till I get this house. So my third year, I got a house. I was like, "You right?" I was like, "I'm glad I didn't spend that bread." Like,
good.
Arizona, keep me straight.
That's good.
That's great.
A lot of people don't even sit down and ponder it and think about it like you did with number one, number two. Then they definitely don't make the right decision a lot of times as well. So that's awesome for your dad to give you that information.
I needed it. Hey, look,
he hadn't
dropped that one, I probably would have been in the R8 and been moved on.
Yeah, you would have had 8 cars.
Like, and what's the next? It was like at the time, it was like John Vilma was in. If you got vets, if you're a vet heavy team, you got nice whips on nice whips, and young kids be looking like, damn, I need to catch up.
Yeah.
So John Vilma had a Rari, Will Smith had a Rari, somebody else had I think we had a Brady Franklin had a Rave. And you a kid coming from college. You see somebody in a rave, like you just looking like
so impressive.
That's what I'm saying. My boy got a 300. It looked just something. Yeah, I don't look nothing like the real thing. Damn.
So I'm trying to process this thing that your dad told you to do. One house, one girl, one car. I'm thinking in my mind, 2 of the 3 appreciate. You're going to get your ROI. I think that's.
Wait, what are the 2?
The woman in the house.
The one,
right?
That's a tweener. You better pick right.
No.
Exactly. Ideal is going to be the woman in the house. You expect to get that ROI. So as he said, he didn't have a girl at the time. I don't know if he got one now. Obviously, like I said, you want to replace that.
Hey, married with 3 kids, TL can't go nowhere.
Yeah. But you did it right, though.
Hey, you applied it at some point.
Absolutely.
Throughout the course of your career. And speaking of money, like you just signed a 3-year deal, $52 million, 42 guaranteed.
Ooh,
with that, obviously that's a blessing. with that, so I feel I know what my answer would be to this, because when you feel like now the organizations they believe in you, the coaching staff believes in you, your defense believes in you, is that added pressure for you to go out there and play at the top of your game?
Added motivation for sure. Pressure, not at all. I mean, if I retire right now, I'm number 2 on the Saints sack list, of all times. If I retire right now, I'm 5 Pro Bowls in. There hasn't been a defender since Ricky Jackson to go 5 or 6 Pro Bowls in on defense. I mean, I could sit down and say, hey, I gave it my all every play. Nobody can ever say I slacked off. Nobody ever say I ain't work hard. Nobody say I wasn't the best at my craft. Like, if I retire today, like, I'm good. I'm straight. My family's good. My bread has been good. My bread has been good. I probably still got my first, meal or two from my first contract.
Awesome.
That's over.
That's awesome.
Like, I haven't in terms of chickens, like Marshawn say, you got to protect your chickens.
Protect your chicken, baby.
You feel what I mean? Like, so everything's lined up where it's like, now I've told my coaches last year before we did the extension, I was like, I want to be proven to show you that I want to stay here. I don't need to stay here. I don't need anything but to be focused on what I want to do. I want to be updated. I was like, I don't want to be a max. Like, I don't want to do a max contract me. I was like, I see Khalil Mack making 23. I've had better numbers than Khalil Mack the last 3 years. It's not about comparing yourself to whoever it is. Yep. That's like, you always want to put your foot forward. It's like, yo, you see, somebody get 20 mil, 19 mil, whatever it is. It's like, what's good for me? I was like, I want to be here. My dad played for the Vikings for 13 years. I came in and I told the Saints, I was like, I want to win a Super Bowl and I want to win it here. I need you to give me the best opportunity to do so. I need an extension. Update me. And they sort of looked at me and was like, update. I was like, I don't want to be the highest paid.
Right.
I want to know that my spot is secure here so I can gun for legacy.
I commend you on that mindset, because there's just not a lot of athletes that think like that. So like I said, congratulations to that mindset, and keep it. Absolutely keep that mindset.
It's all baby violins, as my coaches tell me. My first contract, I was a first rounder. So my first, it was after the lockout year, so I didn't get heavily paid. But my first contract was like 7 change. My second contract was 55 with possibility to get to 60. My third contract is 52 and a half.
Already. You winning. Winning right now.
Look, as me and, wifey had told me, like, we've hit a lottery. Like, the lottery is the talent that we're given. Now, we can always strike another gold plot. You can always hey, I hit the end of the rainbow. But we still have the rainbow rock.
Yeah. So with that being said, obviously, like, you're the staple. I think you're the backbone of that defense. You and maybe someone else. Now, like you said, hearing you talk and hearing that passion, and honestly, like I said, you're taking a sacrifice, a gamble to not go out and try to be the highest paid. With that being said, you want to win a championship in New Orleans. Is the window closing? And when I say that, do you think, obviously, I think you guys have extended Drew Brees, right? Or if not,
he coming back. Yeah,
extended like two more years. Yeah.
Right. So with that being said, I know a lot of people, like I said, going into this year, everybody felt like the window's closing. Obviously, he's up in age. I feel like he can be very, very productive. Like I said, I don't look at someone's production based on their age, but with what you just said, you're younger. The defense is young. Do you think with an aging Drew Brees that you guys, and he has enough talent and skill set to continue to get to the Super Bowl? Because like I said, the window is narrowing in and it's closing for Drew Brees.
Oh, that's nice. That's realistic. But I mean, I look at Drew Brees as one of the greatest to do it, if not the greatest to do it.
Right.
And now that you got Tom Brady in the conference, in my mind, I don't even have to worry about Drew retiring until Tom retires. Once Tom retires, then Drew they
competing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's sort of like a battle of attrition between those two. But beyond that, we had Teddy Bridgewater in building. Teddy Bridgewater goes out to Carolina. I thought that was going to be a future. But then we bring in Jameis Winston, who just threw for 5,100 yards. And everybody's like, but he had 30 interceptions. But he had 33 touchdowns.
Yeah, he just got LASIK.
So now he can actually see things.
He can see.
Look, I'm like, the sky's the limit. Like everybody's talking about this window. I was like, I hear you, but when one door closes, another door opens.
I agree.
And our franchise is doing everything and try and push this to be a better offense. We talk about if Drew decides to retire in the next 2 years, you have Jameis Winston. You have somebody who's proven that he can throw the rock. He's the he believes in. I don't like. I'm gonna say you can't. The greatest thing about Taysom is you can't peg him in a role.
Right.
Like he could be quarterback one play, and then you see it. He might play safety this year. The boy does everything.
Athlete, crazy athlete.
Man, if you ain't lying, he might be punting he might be punting this year.
Look, he's one of those rare cases. Like, bud, he an athlete with the P. You know what I mean? Like,
right, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, so with you guys' division, you got Matt Ryan, like you say, you got Brady now. Carolina now has Teddy. Like, if you guys don't even win that division, you can. If you even get to the playoffs out of that division, you're still contending for the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, a couple years ago, what was it? 3 years ago. It was like three of our. It was Matt Ryan, Julio Jones in the playoffs. It was and Devontae Freeman was out there. That was right there when he was hoofing. It was Cam Newton and Carolina. It was Then it was us. It was three of us. So we've done it before.
Yeah.
Now this year they still got to come see us. We're in terms of NFC South. We've been champ 3 years in a row. We are a big man on mountain until you get knocked off the mountain in the South.
Absolutely.
Right. So who's the team to beat? Now you just said you just mentioned Tom Brady and the Bucs. Obviously, you have yourself, Brees.
The Saints are the team to beat. He just said,
"Hey, I'm big man on him.
Big on the hit.
Until you go big, I'm not trying to.
That's the king of the jungle."
I just wanted some clarity so that people, can't say that I said or Matt or Hat said this and that. I wanted to hear it come from your mouth.
Show them, Cam. There you go.
I randomly have one of these out here. Like, it's just sitting there. Like, there's 3 other hats somewhere, just from the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So until you become champs, how can you be a champ?
Okay, cool. So I just heard, recently you just called Tom Brady the second greatest quarterback of all time. So
absolutely.
Is that safe to say? You're talking
Drew Brees
that you're
is
saying
number one?
Drew Brees is number one?
Yeah, number 9. Yeah, I would go number 9. Then I would go number 12.
Okay.
And then I might throw in, a John Elway type, and then, then it gets sketchy from there. For me personally, I'm gonna
you lost me with John Elway. You lost me there.
That's like a consensus. Everybody likes to throw in John Elway, and I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah. You threw me off with that. You threw me off with that.
Elway is up there for me. Elway is up there for me.
What? You know, skipped over Joe Montana.
No, I didn't skip over. He was just kind of going over his top 5 and not putting them in an order. But he's
okay.
Brees is 1, Brady is 2, and then everybody else is like 3 to 5, and they can kind of go wherever.
That would be the clarification. Okay. It's like you can fight for everything beyond 1 and 2, but you're not going to deny somebody who broke all the records, who's thrown more 5,000-yard seasons. Nobody's done more than Drew in terms of quarterback. And then of course, you can't deny rings. So you put somebody who has, like, when you say rings, you think Tom Brady in terms of football.
Absolutely.
So you throw him up there. And then from everywhere else, you can fight. Dan Marino, John Elway, Aaron Rodgers, Steve Young. You could throw everybody else. You could throw in whoever you want.
So give me your defensive ends then. Give me your 5 defensive ends. Since
this year of all time.
Let's go of all time. Because you know what? I got even a better question for you. Like, because like if you're a receiver, you're always on the other side. You kind of want somebody else. You like said when Jerry was on one side, T.O. was on the other side. So if you were like playing right now, going into a season, you could bring back any defensive end to put on the other side of you. Who would you bring back to play with?
Ooh, I don't even have to think about that. Come on now, I was born in Minnesota. I'm from Eden Prairie, technically. I claim Arizona, but I'm from Minnesota. I'm bringing back Chris Dolman. Chris Dolman. If I had a dream team of like D linemen from spanning the globe or spanning the times, it'd be me, Chris Dolman. I put Reggie White at a 3. And then, I honestly, it depends if I can catch them at their prime. Like as a nose tackle, I'd either put Big Kevin Williams in the middle, or I'd put or I put Keith Millard. Keith Millard had like a 17 sack. But honestly, I might even throw Warren Sapp. Like, if Warren Sapp was in my interior, now I'm mixing. I'm big mixing.
Okay, I like that.
I would say
that's a D line.
I just like, I don't know if I need more. Like, I have guys who can play the run, because when you talk about just defensive end, everybody thinks just pass rushers. I need guys who can play the run and at the same time get after the pass rusher.
Right. And you kind of took pride in that through your career of not just being a pass rush guy. You wanted to be able to play the run and the pass during your career.
Absolutely. I came out in college. I was like, I feel like I'm the most complete defensive end, in college, in that terms of, playing the run and getting after the pass. And I don't think I won't excel in either 3-4 or 4-3. I think I can do it all. And they're like, yo, you're 287 pounds. You can't play 4-3 D end.
Let me show you.
Stop telling me what I can't do just because most 4-3 defensive ends are 265 pounds. You think Mike Strahan, you think 260, 265. You think about everybody who's come before me in positions. It's either 3-4 or 4-3 or whatever it is. But so isn't that the point of us moving forward, us evolving, us being better people?
Yeah. So what? I heard those names. I was thinking, could you kind of, for me, you give me the style and your aggressiveness, almost like a Dwight Freeney. I was thinking that maybe you would throw him in the midst. Because Dwight Freeney was a dog. He was hell coming off that ball, dog.
Absolutely. Hell. He was about 3 steps, and you knew the spin was coming and couldn't stop the spin.
Yeah.
Pass rush?
Elite pass rusher, but not against
I also need you to hold that edge too. Like,
there you go.
Within my line, I also said, because they were a phenomenal run stopper and then a phenomenal pass rusher, I need both. So because first and second down, you ain't gashing us for nothing. It stops at the line. I don't look behind me for help. Like, I don't be like, hey, DeMario, like, I need help on this edge. Like, no, this edge is me. Like, please don't go down this 3-4 and shoot me over to a 4-eye. I'm looking to be on this edge. I'm holding the edge, and then when everything bounce in, I can then help you in a B gap. Like, I'm not looking to help. I'm looking to help.
Right. There you go. So I want to ask you a question. Obviously, you obviously the big splash was Tom Brady, going from the AFC, NFC, offseason, the NFC South. There's another addition to the NFC South. You think about Todd Gurley going to the Atlanta Falcons. What do you think about what he could possibly bring to the Atlanta Falcons? And do you think that's a possible, threat to you guys, from a defensive standpoint?
Absolutely. When you said NFC addition, I thought you were going to say Emmanuel Sanders to the New Orleans Saints. I was like, ain't it?
Yeah, that's going to help y'all. That's going to help y'all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, you give Mike T, who is a clear-cut, top receiver in the league right now. Now, you could be like, over the last 5 years, he's only been in the league 4. So I can't give you consistency. Ain't nobody caught more ball. Ain't nobody had more reception yards. And, you can't peg what Mike does. You be like, oh, runs of slants. I'm not here for that conversation. We've had that conversation 10 times over. If you take his slants away, he still leads the league in reception yards this year. Like, I'm not here for none of it. Yep. So when you talk about, you add in Emmanuel Sanders, who doesn't have to be a clear-cut one, who can come in as a cold number 2. You're looking now. I'm looking like, sort of like the Bucks. Like, we're gonna have 2 receivers going over 1,000 yards. But the difference is we have Alvin Kamara back there. We've got we Taysom. We have our punt returner.
It sounds like you guys have no holes on this team. That's what it sounds like. Hatch, that's just what it sounds like to me.
Man, Hatch. It sounds like we're on the same wavelength right now. So with T.O., when you said what does Todd Gurley do for the addition of the Atlanta Falcon? I don't know. Whatever gets him the number 2 in the NFC South, I don't.
Right.
Whatever helps
because they ain't gonna be 1. So whatever gets him the number 2, whatever. Hey, it don't matter. I feel you.
It's our position to lose.
I'm just trying to create some problems for you guys because it doesn't look like you're going to be having any. So I'm just trying to create some controversy. And speaking of controversy, there's been a lot of little noise going back and forth between Mike Thomas and Devontae Adams on the Twitter.
Devontae Parker. I thought it was Devontae Adams too. I was like,
Devontae Parker.
Devontae is cold. I was like, I was like, Tay Adams, like, over Green Bay, he nice. And I was like, Devontae Parker. I had to look him up.
I had the Dolphins. Yeah, Parker.
Yeah, so this guy, like I said, he hasn't. I don't really know much about Devontae Parker, but the fact that he's chirping at one of the greatest receivers right now in the game, Michael Thomas. Like, how does he even have a leg to stand on?
I don't think he does. That's why Mike T. You don't have a seat at the table. Like
you're not even sitting down at the table.
What has the Dolphins done as of late, to be honest, for him to even be chirping like that? So obviously he must be feeling really good about
something personal.
No, he must be feeling real good about himself with the number 1 draft pick and Tua Tagovailoa this year. So he feels like, I guess, that energy that Tua has brought to the Miami Dolphins, it is really spilling onto the social media, media world, because he's chirping at Mike Thomas, who is arguably right now one of the top receivers in the league.
Right. I mean, yeah, look, at some point, I'm not even sure how it happened. We were talking about it today. He's like, bro, you saw what happened? I was like, no, it happened. Look, I had to look it up.
Give me the gossip.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dang, like I'm at the crib with the kids, so I'm not catching all the gossip. Like, fill me in. Right. I'm getting in. So then I'm looking at him like, oh, yeah, you don't want to challenge Mike. Look, they said Devontae. I was like, Devontae Adams? I was like, like Devontae's cold. So
right.
You got to see the table. They said Devontae Parker, and I was like, oh, he had 1,200 yards this year. And then you look at his career, you're like, yeah, he had 1,200 yards this year.
Oh, 200 yards.
1,200.
This year. He had a good year this year. And
he had a great year this year.
Only thing
he's feeling himself right now. He's feeling himself.
Hey, you got to. When you get that first, I remember my first 10 sacks season. The first 1,000 yards is real. Like, it's a threshold. I'm a big dog now.
Unstoppable, huh?
Yeah. So you got to act accordingly. You can't be a puppy out there talking. You got to be a big dog at all times. Yeah. So I understand it. You just happen to be talking to Mike T, and Mike T gonna be like, look, I don't even know if we play the Dolphins. He might circle that on a day, like, can't wait to see you.
Right.
That's not the smoke you want.
No. Right. Well, it's true. Talking about playing this season, how is it gonna make you feel if you guys play without fans this season? Is it gonna affect you at all? It doesn't sound like it, but it
won't affect road games for sure. I mean,
right.
In terms of the noise that New Orleans brings, that's a changing factor for sure. You talk about third, quarter, quarterback trying to do audibles, trying to motion someone in. That's dead in the dome.
Right.
So now it's really like every game's an away game. So I mean, can we adjust? Absolutely. Do I want to? No. I love when like that vision starts to blur a little bit. Like it gets so loud in the fourth quarter. Like it'd be fourth quarter, 3rd and like 12. Everybody's
that music up.
All that you hyped up. Look, your heart beating like that, like that's that added thunder that you need. Like it's like the most crucial game plan gets put into play, and that's where it's like, yo, like I know he can't hear, so I'm getting off this pill. Like I'm off the rock before the offensive lineman is. Like I know your count, you can't change your count. I'm looking at the time clock. It's, once it gets past like 9, now it's our first sound. Like now it's really a track race. Like you got to show me that you're an athlete today. Like that sort of helps that pendulum swing in our favor.
Yeah. So to piggyback on what Hatch is saying, obviously there will be an adjustment, obviously with the fan participation. I know obviously the NBA, they're obviously going to implement like a no fan in the stands type of rule. So, but what I've heard, I guess the NFL may be experiencing. Just say you guys stadium holds 65,000. They're trying to maybe implement to where maybe 15,000. Of those fans to, I guess, adhere to the social distancing. They'll bring in 15,000 fans. So even with that, I don't know if that's going to give you guys an edge or whatever, but I know when I played, I'm sure Hatch played, when we got ready to go on the road game, our practices like on Thursday, Friday, the coaches brought in the crowd noise. Is that something
you feel
like?
Yeah, music.
Yeah. Do you think, obviously just say if it's limited with 15,000 fans, do you think there's going to be some crowd noise, pumped in to kind of make up for what's not there in the stands? I think that would be a great idea too, especially if you kind of, time it to where when you're fans, you guys are doing some exciting day, that pump that extra crowd noise in there.
No, I mean, for pumping in crowd noise, I'll leave that to Atlanta. But that being said,
shots fired though.
At 15,000, at 15,000 fans or whatever they decide. I mean, again, it'll just have a road game feel to it. It'll be loud for us, but it might not be the loudest. So it's something that we'll just treat like an away game. I expect there to be no issues except for me missing the fans. I'm like, what?
Right, that's your people,
that's what I'm saying. Like 3rd down, I need one of these.
Yeah, you got to get.
Comes. Like I feel like I helped that. Like, and they, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you control that. You control that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's funny. So, one thing we do on this show, we always like to talk about, we have a social media segment. And we want to kind of ask you, do you have anything or anyone that kind of trolled you on your social media where you had to like pop back or fire back from your social media point of view?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for the trolls.
Give us one. Give us one of the trolls he was talking about. That's what I'm
saying. Like, whatever it is. Sometimes they get big mad. Like, especially this last year or 2 or 3 or whatever it is. I think the funniest bit was probably like 4 years ago or whatever it was. The year I sent Cam Newton a bottle of Jordan Cabernet.
You did do that. That was you. I remember that.
It's a phenomenal. It's not a cheap like $5 chuck. Like
that was good.
It's a good bottle of wine. And it was the third time we beat the Panthers in a row. We talking about. You know how hard it is to game plan for Cam Newton.
Yeah,
he's 6'5". He's 260 pounds. He runs a 4.5. Like we talking about a cheat code to the system.
Yeah.
He can also sling his rock 60 yards deep. Now he just didn't have a receiver to sling it to after Steve Smith left. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's not whatever way you have to game plan Cam Newton. Like you don't be like he's got an amazing arm. He's going to sit in the pocket. Cam Newton will run 70 yards from sideline to sideline, find an open, and then take off for 13.
There you go. Yeah.
Like, even if you hit him, he'll bounce off, roll out, and then streak your ass for a smooth 45.
Yeah.
Man.
Cam, are you surprised that Cam doesn't have a job right now?
Absolutely.
I'm shocked. I'm really shocked.
Absolutely. Like, when I thought about it, like we were talking about it earlier. I think I dropped a tweet. I was like, if Cam would have come through, you call me by my middle name. Like, I'm good, bro. Right. But I mean, that's probably like the biggest one. Like Carolina probably hates me now. Like I still get random tweets like, "You would send a broom to our quarterback," but like, I ain't in there. Although we did beat them. I mean,
I love it. Hey, that makes good ball though. That makes good stories, good ball. Like I said, that story will be around for a long time, brother. Keep doing stuff like that, man. That's good. That's good. That's good stuff. That's good for sport.
Saying. Like, like when Atlanta drafted their offensive lineman last year, and I was like, look at this fresh, the fresh meat or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And they like the first game, they had chip help or like a tight end chip or a running back chip like every other play. So I went sackless. And they're like, yeah, talking all that shit. I'm like, I'm here for it. Like, at the end of the day, bro, like we're headed to the playoffs and you're not.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like before you say anything, let the second game come through. And then, of course, the turkey game happened, and I went for a 4-sack game on Thanksgiving. Like the most sacks to ever happen on Thanksgiving happened on this rookie tackle. The most sacks to ever happen against one quarterback happened during that game. I now have 18 official sacks on Matt Ryan. He's officially my favorite guy.
That's your man.
That's what I'm saying. Now this rookie is forever a part of my history.
Oh, thank you, rookie. I appreciate that,
and
young
I get
man.
scale from it. I'm like, bro, before I got drafted to the Saints, I was a Mike Vick fan. You couldn't tell me Algie Crumpler wasn't that dude. Like I used to in the end zone.
Yeah.
But I went to the Saints. I got no love for you no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not putting technically Matt Ryan's helped me put food on the plate for the
Absolutely.
Do
you guys play the Panthers this year?
Twice in the division.
Okay, so speaking of, you guys going to have your former quarterback that you're going to be facing that helped you guys when Drew Brees went down. 5-0. Obviously, that's a big loss to you guys. Obviously, you guys got an addition with Jameis Winston. So how do you think you guys will fare out against Teddy Bridgewater, knowing that, again, this is a guy that you guys, at one point in time, you guys leaned on him heavily, mightily, when Drew Brees went down to continue you guys' streak and really helped you guys, obviously, your position in the playoff hunt. So how do you guys think you guys are going to fare out? Obviously, you guys have practiced against him. You guys know him. He knows you guys. This is going to be a great matchup. This is going to be a must-see game.
Right. I mean, you talk about, they have the wide receiver core, DJ Moore, who's growing into a receiver. And then they went to go get Robbie Anderson, right? So they actually, he's more weaponized than Cam Newton has, and you have CMC back there.
Christian ain't no joke. Christian McCaffrey ain't no joke.
You really don't want to see him at an open field coverage on a linebacker.
He's a problem.
So he's weaponized for sure, 100%.
Oh man, I'm rooting for I think the Panthers gonna get y'all, dog.
Cam, send T something when y'all beat him. Send him something when y'all beat him.
Him and Shannon Sharp been drinking.
Yeah, drinking.
No, me and Shannon, we don't even drink the same thing. First of all, but I'm just saying, dog, the way that Teddy Bridgewater played, bro, he probably could have played throughout the rest of the season. You know, given that
absolutely, you go 5-0, you have a chance. If you have been like, we're gonna ride the hot hand, you ride the hot hand, but we decided to ride the tails of the goat.
Right, so I'm just trying to factor things in here. Like I said, you mentioned the two guys, the receiver Moore, Anderson. He's weaponized. You got CMC in the backfield. You know, now you got.
I'm just here trying to bring in the pay-per-views. I like the way it sounds on paper.
Hey,
come on in.
Bring it on in.
Come on in, baby.
All that sounds good. You know what else is good on paper? Ink. So that don't mean nothing to me. Nothing. Now, bro, if I had to go with somebody, I'm right because y'all don't went to the NFC Championship like playoffs the last 3 years. Y'all didn't make it. So it's got to be somebody else new on the forefront. So I'm riding with the Panthers, bro.
I love it. I love it. Because at the end of the day, you still got to climb that hill. And guess who's at the top of the hill, T.O.?
9 and 9-4. 9 and 9-4.
No doubt.
Teddy Bridgewater may have something to say because, like I said, he knows y'all defense probably like the back of his hand now, bro. You don't think he's going to be relaying some of that information?
It don't matter.
Hey, but you don't think they got something for him though? Come on, man. They know how to game plan him.
Right, but it doesn't matter.
Good.
Like
you better hope Mike Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders come to play. You just better hope.
Why wouldn't they come to play?
I don't know if we have to bring our offense for the Panthers. Marshawn Lattimore is shutting down Robbie Anderson. I think he had 0 catches in 2 games with the Jets when we played them.
Talk about 9-4.
Like, you talk about Jack Rabbit, who's going to cover DJ Moore. That's done. DeMar Davis can cover whatever tight end they bring in to replace Greg Olsen. That's done. Now you have Christian McCaffrey, which we've dealt with because we beat them twice last year and we beat them 3 times a year, 3 years ago. So we dealt with Christian McCaffrey. At some point, you say you bring in Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is a phenomenal quarterback. And we beat the brakes off of them when he was over there with the Minnesota Vikings. And I've sacked him before. I've sacked Tom Brady before. So these are all quarterbacks I've had proven.
I'm with you, Cam. Y'all the king of the hill.
So until somebody dethrones the champs here.
There you go. Look at this guy. Yeah, I hope you froze. I hope that's your camera, not your just regular face.
I just saw that he froze.
I didn't. I'm just astonished, dog. I am astonished at what just came out your mouth.
The truth. He just gave you facts. He just gave you facts. He didn't give you his opinion.
First of all, I hope Teddy Bridgewater sees this, and I hope he is offended. I hope he's pissed off to the highest point of pissivity that the stuff that just came out your mouth. Because the fact that you just remotely brought out what he did in Minnesota into this conversation has nothing to do with what he did in Minnesota. I'm thinking about what he did with the New Orleans Saints last year. You're only good as your last game. And what I know and what I saw, this cat balled out. This is a new Teddy Bridgewater, a resurgent.
This is a better Teddy Bridgewater. He's more efficient. He moves better. He's more confident. But they don't have the offensive line that we have.
They don't have the roster.
We got 2 of the top 4 tackles in the league.
Oh, I can't wait.
They don't have the roster.
I don't even know the tackles' names in Carolina. It's Guy and Guy.
You don't need to know all that. Let me tell you something. I cannot wait till the season because I'm working on a wine collection myself. I'm working on a brand of wine myself. So soon as I get this underway and Teddy Bridgewater and the Carolina beat y'all, trust me, be looking for something in your locker. Because I'm sending you my wine. I'm sending you my wine, baby. Trust me.
Is it filled with T.O. tears?
No. It's going to be tea.
I was like,
it's not T.O. It's just going to be tea.
I was like, it doesn't matter. Over the 16 games, they can scrap for 1 win. It doesn't matter.
I'm sending you some wine and some popcorn.
There you go. That's I'm with that.
I'm sending you some wine and
popcorn if you're going to send it. I mean... You're
gonna get what I send you. That's what you're gonna get. I cannot wait. Oh, I can't wait. I am a Ted. Is he gonna have the same number this year? I'm gonna go get my Teddy Bridgewater jersey.
Go get you a 5. Go get you that 5.
Hey, I got nothing. I got nothing but the highest respect for Teddy. Got nothing but love for him.
Absolutely. You're gonna have more respect.
I love that he came through. Like I thought he was going to stay here and be our future.
Yeah, me too.
But somebody threw in 20-something mil, and I said, I
gotta go. Yeah, gotta go.
Gotta go.
For him, well deserved, especially with the injury that he had. And I hate when guys like, especially African American quarterback, you have injuries. They kind of just bounce you around. But he just showed he was true to his faith, true to the dedication and work ethic, and just the Saints. I give a hats off and a big applause to the Saints just of giving him that opportunity. And when the opportunity arose, he was there. He took full advantage of it.
Yeah. Saints is a great organization, man. Like I say, Cam, I commend you. Like I say, your mindset in today's professional athletes, they don't think like you. So keep leading those young fellas down there in New Orleans and really across the whole NFL and across professional sports. But thank you for coming on, man. Get your Popcorn Ready podcast. Thanks for having you on, brother.
We need more voices like you and others to rally everybody around. I'm disappointed. I don't know. I'm not going to solely hold you to this, but I'm disappointed with the players as a whole that you guys signed this CBA that really doesn't benefit you guys. I thought, you guys would have gotten together and taken a page out of the NBA. These guys collectively getting together and understanding the leverage that they have, versus the owners. Because again, the league is made up of 70+% of minorities. But I thought what should have been on that table, that CBA agreement, was health insurance and guaranteed contracts. Obviously, you got your money, but I think about just the history for so long where, you guys have worked so hard. Guaranteed money is hard to come by. And like I said, everybody's not going to be able to see that type of money. And like I said, as hard as we have worked in the league, we deserve guaranteed money considering the money that the NFL generates, which is more than the NBA and Major League Baseball combined. So I just felt like, guys like yourself, Drew Brees, the Tom Brady's, this is what you guys should have put at the forefront with the NFLPA to get that done. But like I said, you got your money, but as Hat said, we appreciate what you have brought to the game, but we need more voices like yourself to kind of help these younger guys and kind of see the big picture at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Look, at this point, we can say, I was one of those guys that wasn't an NFLPA rep saying, but I was still avidly speaking out like, no, don't sign this. You know me, I'm against it. Again, when you just talk about legacy here, my dad was on the front lines of the picket line and back in the 80s. So I know exactly what it is to strike. And at the same time, you have guys, but then you have, the guys that are just like, no out loud, like, hey, I'm a no, but clearly voting yes. When I'm talking to different guys, it's like, yo, I'm going no. Hell no, dog. Like, I'm talking to Richard Sherman, who's just speaking out as I am. Ain't no way we signing this. I'm looking for myself personally. I'm like, I need health insurance for the older guys. Like you've seen the Keith Browner seniors, you beaten down, broken down. I don't even want to speak about it, but you talk about Junior Seau and the mental concussions that he had. Everything that led to his demise. You talk about, some of the greater players that have gone through so many hits, so many different concussions. It's like, why can't we extend out better healthcare? Why can't we push for, more money put towards older guys? Because we will one day be older guys. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's like after you talk to everybody, like, yeah, I'm a no. You come back and it's an overwhelming yes. Right. You're sitting there like,
But and the thing is, they're not going to experience it. They're not going to feel it right now. But just wait. Even when you're going to experience, I know I've experienced it. Hatch's experienced. 5 years after you're done, your health insurance expires. Then you're going to have you can file to get an 18-month extension. But after that, it's a wrap. You're going to have to find your own health care. And these guys they have no clue and how detrimental that can be to you, your family, because especially if you got kids, that's going to not only affect you personally, but it's going to affect your kids. It's going to affect your family. Because, I know everybody that I took care of, they were under my insurance. My kids were under my insurance. You know what I mean? So they don't understand,
That's a lot of insurance because he had a lot of kids, B.
It don't matter. That's all right. They don't matter. I
got the biggest respect for somebody who can deal with that type of stress. Because like I got, one partner and then we deal with our kids. So it's like one person has to go through. Well, some of the stressful situations, like some of my guys, like has 2 baby moms, so it's like he got to go talk to 2 of them, and they each got to be good, and they each like need their own. Like I couldn't imagine. Like, I have more respect for you as an athlete because your energy is just divided by that much. Like,
I just stay.
That's why he don't sleep. That's why he don't sleep. He got tons of energy. He got tons of energy.
I just stayed focused. You know what I mean? That's how I still enabled to be one of the greatest to play the game. So when you can block out all that noise and don't let that filtrate into what you're supposed to do on a daily basis, then hey, it's a recipe for success.
No doubt.
Like no doubt.
Well, we appreciate you. Hey, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you letting the people in on what you're doing, kind of enlightening people on the process in which it takes to be one of the greatest, defensive ends in the game. And really just kind of alerting and educating everybody on what we should expect, this upcoming season, man. So I wish you lots of luck this year, just not against the Panthers because Teddy Bridgewater is coming. Oh, look! Hey,
the champ is here.
The champ is here. Y'all on top, 9-4. Don't even trip, baby. Y'all on top of the hill.
I'm sending you wine and popcorn.
Look, I'm just gonna send you what is it, Floyd Mayweather highlight. You don't have to worry about it when you've been a champ for so long.
There you go. There you go. Get them straight, Cam. Get them straight, baby.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Cam, dog. All right, my guy. All right, Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast with your boy Cameron Jordan from the New Orleans Saints. Cameron Jordan on the show. Yo, I commend that brother. That's a good leader in the community. We need more guys like him.
No doubt.
The leadership that he, applies in that locker room for a good team. Don't forget, that's a very good organization. That's a good team. And the leaders of that team, of course, Drew Brees on the offensive side, but he's definitely the defensive leader and a team leader as well. So I can't commend Cameron Jordan enough for what he's doing, in the athletic space.
Yeah, and absolutely. And led by a great coach in Sean Payton. I mean, he's definitely a coach, not only that leads on the field, but off the field as well.
Yeah. So now we got our 3 and Out segment. So what's 3 of the things you take away from the show today?
Yeah. So people that are listening, we always have this 3 and Out segment, and that's really 3 takeaways from between the both of us of what we kind of got and was surprising from the conversation. And I think number 1 for me was that the fact that I've never heard this from an athlete that. They didn't want to be the highest paid, but obviously there's some method to his madness. He's obviously a guy that's very thought out, family man. He wants to end his career there with the New Orleans Saints. So I thought that was very, very surprising that he didn't want to be the highest paid. But hey, 42 million guaranteed. Hey, I can't complain with the guy. And then my other one was that I didn't know because you always have upon the season and as the season unfolds, you have these highlight guys, whether it's offensive guys, you talk about the Julio Jones, your Tom Brady, your Drew Breeses, Cameron Jordan, some defensive guys. But the fact that, I didn't know because I've always thought of Khalil Mack as one of the top defensive guys. He is, but I didn't know that his stats were better than Khalil Mack. So that was surprising.
Yes, again, just last year, Cameron had more sacks than he had last year. But again, he's just quietly going along doing his job. The third thing that I took from the show, again, another reason that he's becoming a leader in the locker room is, again, his dad gave him the advice when he was a younger gentleman, one car, one wife, one house. Like that theory and that process, that thinking to get that early. He goes through the story and like he was sitting there, contemplating, what do I do? And as you know, again, you were young, right? We were both young, had money, and we probably didn't make the right decision. Like, of course, like you said, there's a lot of things you did, a lot of money that I spent at times. Like, I shouldn't have did that. But for him to get that advice and take that advice, and then, of course, him going into his 10th season, being married, having 3 kids, it seemed like he's doing it the right way. And I think it all starts with that advice he got from his dad.
Well, I think you just said it right there. Just the fact that he had a dad, present in his life, and he's had that experience to really share that, some of that wisdom that he's embarked upon onto his son. So that I think number 1, that's key. Just having that father figure, a male figure, in the household, or somebody just to lean on was very, very key for his level of success, and it's definitely showing and paying off.
Absolutely. So thanks for tuning in to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast with Hatch and T.O. in the building. Tune in next week. Don't forget to subscribe on the Himalaya app or wherever you get your podcasts.
No doubt. Subscribe, swipe up, and share.
Yeet. Peace.